As we know, Sweden is wild as fuck. So, I like how they put it in past tense and was one of Europe's most peaceful nations. Not anymore. Heard you. All right. 50s leader runs this shit. I'll say I know most of those rappers are backed by some type of dealer, businessman, something like that, bro. Just cause like I mean, they just got a little bit too much money, bro, to just be rappers.
Sweden is one of Europe's wealthiest nations and was one of Europe's most peaceful nations. I emphasize was because times have changed drastically. As of late, Sweden has fallen to an unprecedented wave of violence. Over the entirety of 2022, there were 391 shootings recorded, and 2023 was not any different. The month of September 2023 alone saw 11 people become the victim of a fatal shooting. Sweden's Prime Minister has asked the military to step in as he is seeing no other option to bring back peace to his country. The cause of this all? Feuds between gangs battling for turf to sell their product on. And these aren't your usual gangs of men. These gangs recruit young boys in their teens, some as young as 13 years old, to carry out hits and grenade attacks. One man in
I will never in my existence of life get used to hearing grenade attack or bombing. That shit's just insane.
particular has a strong hand in what is happening in Sweden right now, making him one of the most wanted men in Sweden. This is the story of Rawa Majid, also known as the Kurdish Fox.
The Kurdish Fox kind of a hard nickname though, I ain't gonna lie to you. But I'm at an age now, bro. Like when I was younger and a lot more angry at the world and everything else like that, I ain't really give a fuck about evil, bro. But now as I get older, I don't want to see all this evil shit no more, bro.
Rawa Majid was born on the 12th of July 1986 in Iran to Iraqi parents. His parents fled as the Iran-Iraqi feud was getting heated. At just a few months old, Rawa arrived in a city named Uppsala together with his family. Uppsala is a smaller city about 70 kilometers from Stockholm, the capital of Sweden. Despite his father slowly disappearing out of the picture, Rawa did well in school as a kid. In secondary school, he excelled in classes that had anything to do with business. After finishing his secondary school, he had his own kiosks in Uppsala where he sold food, phone cards, and gold. However, his career in crime did not start long after. In 2010, he was sentenced to 8 years and 6 months in prison for several drug offences. This included handling coke he imported from the Netherlands. In February 2015, he was allowed early release on parole. He bought his own ice cream parlour in Uppsala, which was a good business move. Not because there were long lines outside the shop, but because he would go on to use it for money laundering. Rawa's freedom was short-lived though. Just 3 months after his release, he violated his probation rules and was jailed once more. In 2018, he was released again, but he had to obey strict rules and was forbidden to leave Sweden. However, shortly after finishing his sentence, Rawa's cousin was removed off the playing field, and he realized that he could very well be next.
Yo, saying he got removed off the playing field is an insane way to say someone died, bro. Yo, honestly, bro, I can believe the terrorist charges. He probably just took a plea deal and they got rid of the charges against him, but that's insane. Tunisia, I wouldn't even want to go there on a regular day, bro, for any reason. So going there for probably what he was going there for, insane.
This led to Rawa being
Tunisia.
granted permission to leave Sweden despite being under surveillance and on probation. He was allowed to travel to his parents' birth country, Iraq, and eventually registered himself in the birthplace of his mother named Sulaymaniyah, a city in the east of the Kurdistan region of Iraq. It must be said that right from his release, Rawa picked up where he left off and started smuggling and selling narcotics again. It wasn't until 2020 that he had emerged as the top drug smuggler of Sweden after police were able to hack into the encrypted messaging database he used. Prior to this hack, Swedish police were unaware of how big Rawa really was in the Swedish smuggling world. But how did he operate? Well, by now, Rawa Majid is better known as the Kurdish Fox, leader of the Foxtrot gang. The core members of the gang are said to consist of Rawa's family members as well as close friends he has known for years. All combined, those are about 10 people, aged between 25 and 35 years old. The core members can be identified by their golden fox rings and chains they wear. The Foxtrot gang mainly focuses on bringing in large shipments of drugs into Sweden to then sell them on to other gangs. They are also notorious because they do not shy away from using excessive violence. PGP messages have further revealed that at least since 2020, Majid was in total control.
What's PGP? Like WhatsApp or something? Heard.
Of the Foxtrot gang and its business. He was in charge of the couriers that transported the drugs, the foot soldiers, and the people that guarded the stash houses. The hacked PGP messages led Swedish police to intensify their investigations into Rawa. After a year of investigations,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
guarded the stash houses. The hacked
Little ass gun. Them folks got some shit. I got some shit over there in Sweden. Oh my god. Like, what is that? The ray gun from fucking Call of Duty, bro? Mad grenades? God damn.
PGP messages led Swedish police to intensify their investigations into Rawa. After a year of investigations, they managed to locate him in Iraq. Together with Iraqi police, they set up an operation and raided the house Rawa was supposed to stay in November 2021, but unfortunately for them, he had just fled, and all they found was a bunch of mobile phones. The Fox was gone. It was immediately speculated that Rawa had the right contacts in Iraq, and that he was warned prior to the raid that he had to move. Right after this raid, Rawa relocated to Turkey. It remained quiet around him for just a few months, but then, in March 2022, his name would pop up again. This time in relation to a feud between his Foxtrot gang and the Bandidos, another gang in Sweden. Reason for
Something that I'm picking up on, because it's kind of common here in America, but not really, because America's kind of big as fuck. But it's like really common for people in Europe to just go from country to country, isn't it? Because like, this is kind of nuts. Like, this one dude alone, like, obviously his family's from Iraq and whatnot, or Iran. I don't remember which one it was. But like, this dude's touching down everywhere. Like, you're saying, like, old boy who's from Sweden, he was over in Tunisia. Like, these dudes just travel, bro. OD. Must be real cheap over there.
the feud? 2 large shipments of drugs that were seized by Swedish police on February 11th and 14th. This feud would go on to have serious consequences. Just 2 weeks after the seized shipments, the Bandidos clubhouse was shot at. Nonetheless, this was nothing compared to what was about to come. It would go tit for tat.
Yeah, I can imagine, cause shit's serious. You gotta handle business, but I can only picture what they're about to say right here, bro. It's gonna be like they said an ICBM, IMB, whatever the fuck the big ass bomb is, ICMB, ICBM. Probably gonna send a big ass bomb at that clubhouse.
With some of the most notable actions being that of the 4th of March, where an innocent barber was removed off the playing field. The man drove an
This dude has to stop saying removed off the playing field. One, not only am I too drunk for that shit already, but two, that is an insane way to say someone got deleted, bro. Was removed from the playing field. Like, bro, they're not playing sports, bro. This is life or death.
his white Mercedes near the Bandidos clubhouse as 17-year-old Peter Hassan Hagi stopped next to him and riddled him with bullets. Police suspected the victim to be innocent, though they think the hit was aimed at someone of the Bandidos who also drove a white Mercedes. Interesting to note is that the vast majority of those involved in these gang crimes come from migration backgrounds. A report that was made in 2022 claimed that 85% of the suspects involved in the fatal shootings and other attacks were either born outside of Sweden or had at least one foreign-born parent. 2 weeks after this hit, Rawa ordered his troops to get ready for new actions against the Bandidos, and so they did. On the 28th of March, a young man can be seen running into a gym and downwards onto the staircase. It's evident that he came with a mission. Let's look at the video. The young man could be seen going downstairs into the gym area. Here is where he struck someone, and you can see bystanders running up the stairs in total panic. Shortly after, the shooter also ran up the stairs again. He even tried to escape through the wrong door before someone guided him in the right direction. His mission? To remove a highly ranked Bandidos member that was also in the gym. The end result? He struck Frederick, a totally innocent man who did not survive. The hitter was just 16 years old when he did it. While all this was happening, Rawa himself remained at bay in Turkey. However, he would get in serious trouble himself too.
See, that's another thing about all the gang violence shit that I really hate, bro. Like, I'm not saying I agree with dudes like Charleston White, but I understand the angle dudes like him come from 100%. Because, like, most time, bro, it's not the people that someone got beef with that really suffer, bro. It's always just like some innocent ass person living their life. Like, because that dude was an old white dude who was in good shape, bro. He just kind of looked like him. He gotta die. Like, it's insane, man.
In April 2022, Ali Eren was doing his job as a gardener in the Turkish city of Marmaris when he came across a pouch that someone had left behind. Upon opening it, Ali found bundles of cash stuffed inside the pouch. Despite making a meager salary as a gardener, Ali did not take this chance to pocket the money for himself. No, he decided to inform the police. At the station, they had counted multiple currencies with over $12,000 in total value. After checking the security cameras located near the park, police managed to identify a man called Miran Otaman. They invited Miran to the police station to pick up the pouch, which Miran of course gladly did. He introduced himself as a shipping tycoon and left behind $400 as a reward for Ali. But police had a weird feeling about this Miran Otaman. They decided to run his ID through all their databases and discovered that this was not Miran Otaman. This was an internationally wanted man, a man that had an Interpol red notice out for him. The man who they had in front of them was actually fugitive Rawa Majid, not Miran Otaman. After further investigation, Turkish police raided Rawa's
That's pretty fucking ballsy of him to do, bro. No bullshit.
villa, where they found unlicensed weapons, large sums of cash, and luxury items such as designer clothes, watches, and more. He had rented the villa with the same fake passport. During his first questioning, Rawa said that he was surprised that he got caught. I had a very high quality and well-designed fake passport. I never thought I would get arrested when I went to that police station.
This gotta be some of the most ballsy and gangster shit I've ever seen in my life, bro. He said, I had a very high quality and well designed fake passport. I never thought I would get arrested when I went to the police station. Bro, you went to a police station when you're an internationally wanted fugitive. That has to be some of the dumbest shit I've heard in a long time. Dog, you're a criminal, bro. After a while, everybody who's playing on the police's side is going to know what you look like if you're still wanted. Like, I just saw a story the other day about a dude who was on the run for 15 years from America. The dude was living over in Kenya, bro. And I don't know how he got caught, but 15 years later, bro, they found that man, bro. Oh, that dude who escaped from prison in New Orleans, that dude was cross-dressing as a female, bro, working as a cashier. And still got caught because of his shorty, bro. Like, wild shit, bro.
Was this the end to his story? Was one of Sweden's most wanted criminals finally caught and ready to be extradited? Well, no. Rawa had purchased Turkish citizenship via Turkey's Golden Passport program for approximately $400,000 in 2020. Turkey has become a safe haven for criminals, as they are able to purchase citizenship by investing the aforementioned amount into real estate in the country. Although Sweden, along with Interpol, has requested for his extradition, Turkish authorities have refused to do so for two reasons. Reason number one is his Turkish citizenship, and number two is because Sweden has refused to extradite people to Turkey whom Erdogan identified as terrorists. Rawa's extradition has become a political game. To make matters worse for Swedish authorities, Rawa was released by Turkish police a few weeks after his arrest and is now essentially a free man again.
Nah.
Oh, and after all this, Ali got a reward for his honesty. Keeping the pouch might have been a better option afterwards. In April 2022, right when Rawa was jailed in Turkey, Swedish police shared an extensive police report about Rawa Majid and his Foxtrot gang with the aim to help Turkish intelligence prosecute Trawa. Information such as their suspected locations, pictures of them and what they are being accused of, and more evidence. It was part of Operation Yilan. The report was...
That's insane. Let me go get my food though.